velocity of sound or pressure wave in a fluid. Right, now the velocity of sound, right, when we consider for solid, liquid and a gaseous, right, or a solid or a fluid phase here, in solid we can see the velocity of sound is very high, right, because the molecules are thickly packed or closely packed there. So the velocity in solid will be very high compared to that of liquid, right. Liquid, the velocity of sound will be moderate, and gaseous, the velocity of sound is low here, right. That means the velocity of sound is mainly dependent on the pressure and mass density of the fluid here, right. But in case of fluids, that is liquid or gases, the molecules are relatively apart. That means the disturbance will be transmitted from transmitting from one molecule to next molecules, right. There is some distance between two adjacent molecules. Hence, the molecules have to travel from one point to another point to transfer the disturbance, right. That's why in liquids, that is in fluids, that is in liquids and gases, the velocity of sound will be very low there, right, compared to that of the solids, right. That means so in solids we can say it is instantaneous, but in liquids, that is in gases, it will be slower compared to that of the solids, or right, solids here, right. Now here we'll be deriving the expression of velocity of sound in a, or a velocity of sound in a velocity of sound wave in a fluid here, right. Now what we have done here, we have considered a tube or a pipe here. We have considered a pipe here and a piston, right. We have considered a pipe and a piston here. That means velocity, the disturbance is propagating in one direction. That is, consider a pressure wave which is traveling in x direction here, right. Now what we have done, initially the piston is in this position. After some time interval dt, the piston has reached a second position, right. Piston has reached the second position here. Let us say this distance as x, right. This is the distance traveled by the piston here, right. Due to this disturbance created by the piston, the pressure wave will be traveling till here, right. That means the velocity of sound is very high. Velocity of sound is high compared to that of the disturbance which is created here, right. Now if I take V is the velocity of piston, and A is the cross sectional area of pipe, right, and P is the pressure, right, and rho is the density, and C is the velocity of sound. C is the velocity of sound or pressure, velocity of a pressure wave here, right. Now we are considered for a small interval dt, time interval. Dt is the time interval here. Now the distance traveled by the piston, right, distance traveled by the pressure wave is considered as L, and the distance traveled by the piston is considered as V here. Now when I take the distance traveled by the piston here, velocity is given by the change in distance by distance traveled by time taken here, right. The velocity V is the velocity of piston, which is nothing but distance traveled x divided by, I will write it as capital X divided by dt here. Now dt or x is what? X is equals to V into dt, right. X is equals to V into dt. Similarly for the pressure wave, right, For pressure wave we have, that is the velocity of sound, c is the distance traveled by the pressure wave divided by time taken dt. So I can write L is equals to c into dt here. L is equals to c into dt. Call this as equation number 1, this as equation number 2 here, right. Here this is the distance traveled by the piston, this is the distance traveled by the pressure wave or distance traveled by the sound wave here, right. Now we can see the distance traveled by the piston, that is, and distance traveled by the pressure wave, that is c, is very large compared to that of L, right. So very large compared to that of the velocity of the piston here. So I can write L is greater than x, right. So L is greater than x here. So thus the length of tube that is from this point to this point, this is the length of tube what we are supposed to consider here, that is this becomes L minus x. Here L is what? L is nothing but c into dt here. This is the length of tube is L minus x here, right. Now that means the fluid will be compressed between that, right, between this length here. Due to the compression, the pressure also pressure as well as the density of the fluid will change, right. That means due to this compression, that is before this, whatever we have written, this is before compression here, right, and the pressure P is the pressure before compression, and rho is the density before compression here. So after compression the pressure becomes P plus dP here, this is after compression, and similarly density becomes rho plus d rho, this is also after compression here, right. Now we will be utilizing the mass of fluid before compression and after compression, that means mass should remains constant here, right. So I will take m1 is the mass of fluid before compression, that is nothing but density into volume of fluid, right, volume of fluid up to length L, right. That means whatever we are considered till here, that means before compression what is the mass of the fluid, right, for the time interval dt, and similarly what is the mass of fluid after compression. So both the mass should remains constant, should be equal there, right. So m1 we are considered is the mass of fluid before compression for length L here. So m1 becomes, m1 is equals to rho into volume of the fluid up to length L. Volume is nothing but this cross sectional area, that is complete area, this cross sectional area, right, cross sectional area of the pipe into this length here, that means total volume of the pipe what we have considered here, right. This becomes area, cross sectional area A into length of the pressure wave, right. So I can write L is nothing but L here is C into dt, right. L here is C into dt. So I can write rho A C into dt, right. Call this as equation number 3, right. Similarly for m2 is nothing but the mass of fluid after compression for length. Now after compression I need to consider this length, right, because the piston has moved to this point, right, from here to here the piston has moved. So I need to consider this length here, that is L minus x here. L minus x is the length what we need to consider, right, for length L minus x. This becomes m2 is equals to, that is density into volume of fluid here, density into volume of fluid into length L minus x. Now density into volume. Volume, what I need to consider, that is the cross sectional area A into length L minus x. Right. Now what is L? L is nothing but C into dt and x is nothing but V into dt here. Right. Now not only the density also changes here, rho plus d rho here. Right. Density also changes here, rho plus d rho here. This is the mass of fluid, that is the density of the fluid after compression. We are taking as density changes from rho to d, rho plus d rho here. So I can write rho plus d rho into A into L is C into dt, right, minus x is V into dt, right, x is V into dt. C is the speed of the velocity of sound or the velocity of a pressure wave. V is the velocity of a piston here, right. Now what I can do, call this as equation number 4. As we already told, the mass of fluid before compression should be equal to mass of fluid after compression here, right. Now mass of fluid before compression, we have rho A C into dt is equals to, after compression, rho plus d rho into A into C into dt minus V into dt here, right. Now what I'll do, I'll take out the constants, is rho A C into dt is equals to, I'll multiply A inside, rho A plus A into d rho, and I'll take out dt outside, C minus V into dt, right. Now now this term dt get cancels here, right, dt get cancels, so remaining will be, and also A is there, A I'll write it outside the bracket itself, so A also get cancels here, right. Remaining will be rho into C is equals to rho plus d rho into C minus V here, right. Now I'll multiply this thing, that is rho into C is equals to rho into C plus d rho into C minus rho into V minus V into d rho here. Rho C get cancels, remaining will be 0 is equals to C into d rho minus rho V minus V into d rho here, right. Now I can write C into d rho is equals to rho V minus V into d rho here, rho V minus V into d rho here, right. Now we know that velocity of the piston V is less than the C here. That means C is the speed of sound and V is the velocity of a piston here, and also dP, right, d rho. D rho is a small change in density here. D rho is small change in density. So the multiplication of d rho into V, the multiplication of V into d rho will be very small. So I can neglect that term, that is C into d rho is equals to rho V here. Call this as equation number 5 here, right. Now the piston is moving with velocity V for time interval dt. The fluid also moves with velocity V. Hence the pressure of fluid will increases from P to P plus dP here, right? Due to the movement of the piston, the fluid also moves, so there will be a change in pressure, that is increases from P to P plus dP here, right? Now we will be apply the impulse momentum equation. Apply impulse momentum equation. So we have net force on the fluid should be equal to rate of change of momentum, right? Now net force is what? Force is nothing but pressure into area here, right? Net force, see, the piston initially is at this position, so the initial force will be P into cross sectional area, that is P into A, right? And the final pressure, as piston is moved to this position, the final pressure becomes P plus dP here. Final pressure becomes P plus dP here. So the force becomes P plus dP into area here, right? So I can write net force directly here, that is final force, that is P plus dP into area minus initial pressure, that is P into area A. P into area A here, right? Now the rate of change of momentum, right? The rate of change of momentum is nothing but mass into acceleration. Momentum is nothing but mass into acceleration. I can write this as total mass into change in velocity, change in velocity by velocity divided by time, change in velocity by time here, right? So this thing I'll write as P into area A plus A into dP minus P into A is equals to total mass, right? Total mass, that is initial mass, rho A into L, that is density into volume here, into change in velocity. Initial velocity is 0, right? And final velocity is V, that is the change in velocity of piston, right? That is V minus 0 divided by time interval we have taken as dt here, right? So PA and PA get cancels out, remaining will be A into dP is equals to rho A L V divided by dt, right? Now I have A into dP is equals to rho A L V divided by dt, right? Now what is V? V is nothing but x divided by dt. So in place of L, yeah, in place of L I can substitute it as C into dt here, right? Now area A into dP is equals to rho A V into L is nothing but C into dt whole divided by dt here. So dt get cancels out, A get cancels out, right? So dP is equals to rho V into C, right? Rho V into C here, right? Now rho V is equals to dP by C, right? Call this as equation number 6, right? Now what we'll do, we'll substitute the equation number 6, right, in this equation here, that is C into d rho is equals to rho V here, right? Rho V is equals to C into d rho, right? So substituting 6 in 5. Now 6 we have rho v is equals to dp by c here, right? So the equation number 5 is c into d rho is equals to rho v. So c into d rho is equals to rho v. Rho v is nothing but dp by c, right? Now c square is equals to dp divided by d rho here, or else c is equals to square root of dp divided by d rho here. All this is equation number 7, right? Now from this equation I can say the velocity of sound wave is nothing but the square root of change in pressure divided by change in density here, or the square root of ratios of change in pressure to the change in density of the fluid, right? This is the velocity of sound in terms of pressure and density, change in pressure and density.